Hello everyone, how are you guys doing? Wanted to help the Northwest campus out a little bit, and maybe anybody else that didn't get this in class, but I know that you guys missed class, and just to help you guys to get this assignment 7 done, here's assignment 7A, part 1 of it, which happens to be on the screen. You can see the PDF. Make sure you follow the PDF drawings on the instructions. Do not follow the doc drawing, the .doc, which is the Word document for the instructions. You can follow all the worded instructions, but when it comes to the drawing, make sure you follow the PDF files that are attached. Alright, and that's what I have open right now. So let's knock this out really quick. As you can see, best way to go about this is to start with the circles, right? Let's get that started first. That'll be easy. Or you can start with the bottom of the line, but I like to start with circles. Always easier to put a circle on the screen. There's my circle, and what do I need? Diameter, so D for diameter. And what's the first diameter? 0.5. Center, circle again, same center. And what do I do? D for diameter again. And what is it? 1.25 for that second one. All right, so there we go. We've got our two circles. There they are. So let's draw a couple of center lines, some lines to identify where everything is going as far as from the center of this stuff, so we can have a baseline. So there we go. And I'm just touching this line, touching the handle and coming up a little bit longer. Now the reason why I wanted to do this is I wanted to be able to use these lines for my favorite command, which is called offset. So as you can see, all these distances are given to you. So from right in the center, what is the distance I can go down to the bottom of this piece? It's 2, right? So let's offset 2, which happens to be this one down. There's the bottom of my piece. And then from the center, what's the overall length of this thing? It's from the center, it's 4, so it's in the middle, so we'll say 2 and 2 to each side, right? So offset 2 this way, 2 this way. There we go. Now let's just extend this line out to touch so we can have our bottom. Then we're going to trim this line out. There, we trimmed it. There's my bottom of my piece. Now, the next step, why don't we go ahead and draw this ledge going across here so that we can get the radiuses, those two radiuses, to tag in there correctly. So what is that? From the bottom, 1.125. So let's go from the bottom. Offset 1.125. From the bottom, going up. There it is right there. And let's trim out. Let's trim out the two pieces. We don't need those. Okay, so there we've got our ledge. We've got this. So what are we going to do? Why don't we go ahead and put the arcs in there? Let's get those two big arcs of 0.75, right? How are we going to do that? There's a couple of ways. You can do a fillet, but if you do a fillet and you touch this line, this circle, and this line, this whole thing goes away because it fills this whole thing up as a fillet. Then you got to draw another line and all this other junk. So why don't we just go with another way? Why don't we go TTR, which is a circle and TTR, right? So circle, tangent, tangent, radius. That's TTR. I know the radius, right? So I should be able to use this. So tangent of this. Tangent of that, and what's my radius? 0.75. There you go. And now, do I need to do it again? Yeah, I probably just say right click again, TTR again, and what is it? This, and there's my radius again. Or I could have mirrored this over across and just done it that way if I wanted to. Now let's trim out what I don't need, which is this and this, and I've got my curve. Oh, forgot the insides also. Don't forget those. There we go. So we've got it. So now we're done. So now that we've got this, let's go ahead and work on putting the two chamfers in. Chamfer. C-H-A-M-F-E-R. Chamfer. And if you notice at the bottom, I've already got it entered, but in order to enter these, usually this would be 0, but I'm going to put a distance of D. What's my first distance? This chamfer is 0.25 wide by 0.38 high. So why don't we go 0.25 in the X, 0.38 in the Y. And there we go. So now if I say 0.25 is my first point, that needs to be my X. So I need to pick an X line going on the X axis, not the Y. So I'm going to pick X, and then what's my next one? Y. X and Y. And there I go. Got it. So now that I've got my stuff here, why don't we put in our next piece, which is going to be this 60-degree angled slot that goes through the center of this piece. in the bottom of it. So why don't we do that? So right off the bat, I can see that the 1.25 is given to me, right, to get this corner. So why don't I do that? First, offset 1.25 from this edge right here, right over. So there's my piece. That's part of this. That's part of this line. It's going up, but I need to rotate it to get 60 degrees, right? In this, I know this is 60, so this must be 60. So what would be left? 60 minus 90. So this little angle right here is what? 30. Rotate. Pick a base point. And what angle? 30 degrees. And there it is. So now I've got it. I'm going to do a mirror command. Pick this line. Pick the center. Center circle. And there we go. Now just draw a line from here to here. Connect it. Now let's trim out what's not supposed to be there, which happens to be this and this. There we go. And then I can change the length of this because I don't need that length anymore. I used it for my offset. I'm just going to put it up there. Now, of course, you have to remember, you need to make center lines, so all the layers need to be created. So this needs to be a center line layer. All right, now let's do the keyway. Keyway shown right there. It's from the bottom of the circle up to the top of the keyway is 0.563. So why don't we draw a little line here, right from the bottom. Offset 0.563. Going up. There we go. So that's the top of my key. Now, as you can see, it's evenly split at 0.125. It's half of it. So why don't we take this line, offset, and half of 0.125 is 0.0625. I'm going to go to the right, and I'm going to go to the left. There we go. And I'm going to extend this out so that I can close it in. And I'm going to trim everything out that I don't want. There we go, and you can get rid of all these things. Don't need this, don't need this. There's my keyway. All done. And there are no dimensions required for this drawing. All I need to do is see this. Make sure you have center lines in with your layers. And the next part of this will actually be... Sorry, there's a phone call coming in.
Incoming call from 62360.
Sorry about that. Anyway, let's that's pretty much wraps this one up. And I appreciate it. We'll get the next one up in just a second. Thanks.